奴はお前たちの理想の王とはならんようだな。よ
く来てくれたね。いいね。みんな一緒になったね。
The new saga of the Dragon Ball Super manga is already confirmed, and the one who laid the groundwork for this new saga was Dragon Ball Daima. In this video, I'll explain how it all connects. Stay connected in the channel, and let's go to the video. Guys, before anything else, go ahead and leave a like right now at the start of the video so you don't forget later, okay? It really helps us a lot. A big thank you to everyone who does that. So when Dragon Ball Daima was announced, many people believed it would just be a filler anime for Dragon Ball. A story with no relevance to the main plot, created just to kill time. But the truth is, this anime has proven to be one of the franchise's most important stories when it comes to exploring Dragon Ball lore. Dragon Ball Daima has even revealed to us how the universes were created and by whom, which is incredibly significant information. But beyond that, this anime also brought up questions that forever changed our understanding of all existence as we learned in DBS. It even opened the door for the new saga of the Dragon Ball Super manga, set to return next year. In Dragon Ball Daima, we discover that the creation of all universes originated from the Demon Realm. In the Demon Realm, there was a king with great ambition who wanted to expand his dominion significantly. At the same time, there was a being called the Super Majin due to his immense power. His name is Rymus. This demon king ordered the Super Majin named Rymus to create the universes. And that's exactly what Rymus did, using his vast power. In Dragon Ball Super, it said that there were 18 universes, but something happened and Zeno erased 6 of them, leaving the 12 universes we know today.
The fact is, we used to have 18 universes instead of only 12.
That's completely insane, so we just wiped out the other 6.
It doesn't take much to provoke him either. Any perceived insult, and the next thing you know, pow!
In other words, Rymus created an astounding 18 universes. The sheer power this guy possesses is absolutely incredible. After creating the universes, he selected members of the Glind race to become the Supreme Kais, acting as supervisors and creators within the universes. We're not sure if Rymus is still alive, but the way he's mentioned suggests that he might be. This hasn't been confirmed yet, but everything points to Rymus being a kind of supreme god of creation, like the most powerful Kaioshin of all, since his creative power far surpasses any other Kaioshin. Similarly, Zeno seems to be a sort of supreme god of destruction, given that his destructive power is far greater than that of any god of destruction, and he's also assisted by a supreme angel, just like the other Hakaishin. Now, as I was saying, Rymus selected members of the Glind race to be the supervisors of the universes. This is critical to understanding a major issue in this whole story. Previously, official guides described that the Supreme Kais and King Kais came from a race called the Shinjin. This race was born from a tree called the Kaiju, and its members were divided into 2 types based on the kind of fruit they came from: ordinary fruits and golden fruits. The ordinary fruits gave life to Shinjins who could become King Kais, and the golden fruits gave life to Shinjins who could become Supreme Kais. Now, this information has changed, and we've learned that, in reality, the Supreme Kais come from the Glind race and are born from Glind trees. It also seems like there's no such thing as ordinary or golden fruits. Apparently, all Glinds are born equal and develop their abilities over the course of their lives. We're also no longer sure if the Supreme Kais are of the same race as the King Kais, as they seem to differ significantly and weren't mentioned as being Glinds in Shin's explanation about the creation of the universes. But the most important takeaway from all this is that the Glind race is going extinct because the Glind trees have died and no new Glinds are being born. This means that once the current Glinds die, their race will cease to exist. However, we need to consider the following. How many Glinds have already died since the Glind trees perished? Or better yet, how many Supreme Kais have died since the universes were created? It was said that during the reign of King Abura, Dabura's father, the journey between the demon realm and the outside world became more difficult, which caused the Glinds to flee from the demon realm. When the Glinds fled, they left their planet behind, and as a result, the Glind trees were neglected and eventually died. It was not said how long it has been since King Abura's reign, but we know that Shin has been a Supreme Kai for millions of years, as he was a young Supreme Kai when Kid Buu attacked the Supreme Kais. So, it's been a few million years since any new Glinds were born. Since then, many Glinds have died, especially the older ones. This raises a question: how many Supreme Kais have died and couldn't be replaced? Have you ever thought about that? This is a significant issue that Dragon Ball storyline will need to address. As we know from Dragon Ball Super, each universe must have a god of creation and a god of destruction. When a god of creation dies, the god of destruction also dies. There's no universe without these two types of deities. So, if there aren't enough Supreme Kais for all the universes, what happens? Wouldn't it make sense to assume that such a universe would be abandoned? What if, in reality, there were more than 18 universes, but many of them were abandoned due to the lack of a Supreme Kais? It's very possible that there are currently more universes than the 12 we know, but these universes are chaotic, lawless, existing without the control of the gods. Or perhaps Rymus himself oversees these universes, taking on this role due to the shortage of Supreme Kais. Since these universes lack angels, gods of destruction, and Supreme Kais, they are considered outside the divine hierarchy established by Zeno and the Grand Priest. That's why they aren't mentioned or appear in Dragon Ball Super. Remember that there are likely other entities or realms outside the universes, as there were things that existed before them. For example, the demon realm existed before the universes, and probably other places did too, such as the origin of the angels, which is very likely outside the 12 universes. Rymus supervising other universes is an excellent explanation for why he hasn't been mentioned or appeared in Dragon Ball Super so far, even during such crucial events involving all the universes, like the Tournament of Power. In Dragon Ball Super, this issue could be perfectly explored in future arcs. Using the idea of chaotic universes without gods that I mentioned earlier, it would be very interesting to see the Z warriors needing to venture into these universes, where everything is in complete chaos. In these universes, there could be absurdly powerful beings, warriors who had to grow in extremely hostile environments, and as a result, developed immense power. There could also be races that evolved to adapt to harsh conditions, since there are no gods of creation to regulate the environment to make life easier or more viable. Alternatively, if Rymus is indeed managing these universes, he could summon the most powerful warriors from the 12 universes to perform some task or something along those lines. Rymus could even hold a tournament to select new gods for the universes he oversees. Imagine how cool that would be. There are so many interesting possibilities. The Dragon Ball Super manga is currently on hiatus, so we don't have much information about the next stories. A special chapter has been confirmed, telling a story set before the events of the superhero arc, but it's a smaller standalone piece. The Dragon Ball Super manga always tries to connect with the new content released in the franchise. For example, the Resurrection F and Broly movies were mentioned in the manga, and the superhero movie was fully adapted, so they will definitely reference Dragon Ball Daima. In fact, it seems that a preview of Dragon Ball Daima was hinted at during the Granola arc, when it was revealed that the Namekians originated from another world, which we later learned was the Demon Realm. This means Akira had already planned to intertwine the storylines of Dragon Ball Daima and Dragon Ball Super long ago. So, it's entirely possible that what we're seeing in this anime now could be used for some future plotline in Dragon Ball Super. Let's see how creative you are. Leave a comment now with your idea for a future arc or arcs in Dragon Ball Super, inspired by the story of Dragon Ball Daima. Share what you think would make a great new storyline for DBS based on everything we've seen and discussed so far in Dragon Ball Daima. Let's see what interesting ideas you can come up with. Well, don't forget to like the video if you haven't done so yet. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss upcoming content about Dragon Ball Daima and Dragon Ball in general. And share this video with someone you know who's also a Dragon Ball fan. A big thank you to everyone who stuck with me until the end. And see you in the next video.